Hello everyone, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. So yes, let's just start the story. Let's continue. So we get a choice right now. We are gonna pick this one. I can't be her servant.
お願いだから逆らわないで。私にあなたを殺させないで。
I can hear the desperation in her voice. But I can't give her what she wants. My place isn't with Arcuate anymore. Not because the rules of human society forbid it, but because my heart won't allow it. I am fundamentally incapable of understanding people. I'm just some wretch trapped between life and death. Hovering over this threshold until I finally cross it. And yet, she came to me, praising how hard I tried, showing me I had purpose. Although I can hardly believe it myself, I found someone I care for more than my own life. I breathe deep and steel myself. By the way, when I was choosing the choice, I couldn't click the other one for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why. I couldn't put it to the other choice, Yeah, we were just stuck in this, I guess, choice.
四季。
Her gaze softens, even for just a little, as though to ward off the words she knows are coming.
ダメだ。お前には従わない。
I never imagined her perfect eyes could look so stricken with pain. If I were a good enough liar to deceive myself, I might have been able to spare her feelings. No, even then.
どうして四季がこんなに好きなのにダメなの？
当たり前だろう。今のお前はロアと同じだ。
To me, the woman in whom I saw eternity was the woman whom I met in a back alley, the woman who smiled for her irredeemable murderer.
だから吸血鬼には従わない。
To conflate this Arcuade with that woman would insult her memory, and that I will not do. I lashed out with my knife in a futile act of resistance. The slash lacks serious intent, if not conviction, but that's not what stops it dead at her neck. I physically can't cut through her skin.
やめて。なんで？なんで？
Her beautiful features contort with misery. My answer must have wounded her beyond measure.
違うもの。違うから。やめて。取り消して。あいつと同じなんかじゃない。いくら好きでも、そんな言葉。
My headache intensifies in tandem with my self-loathing. I see something at Arcuade's neck. Yeah, that is a slash though. A line of death, so fine it's barely visible. I must have hurt her so deeply that even here, beneath the golden moon, her armor is cracking. But I can't afford sympathy.
違わない。いいから頭冷やして出直してこい。
It worked, and I take advantage of her distress to cut the line across her throat. Suddenly, I'm free. Arcuade slumps on top of me, unmoving. Cutting her line of death must have incapacitated her. I extract myself from her pale embrace and back away while I still can. With her weight off me, I can finally breathe. My shoulders heave as I try to calm my hammering heart. I'm unhurt, but I've only bought seconds at best. Knowing Arcuade's regenerative abilities, she'll get back up and come at me at any second now. Arcuade's arms splay wide beneath her own weight. She collapses face first onto the stone pavement, looking for all the world like she's sleeping. At the sight of red, my body, it freezes. I expected blood. I know what it means to cut a throat, but I didn't expect her to keel over so easily like she was a human. She doesn't move. Slowly but steadily, the pool of blood grows wider. It seeps into her clothing, staining her ethereal white a gruesome red. No, I couldn't have killed her. Could I?
嘘だろ。アルクエイド、そんな。
Repressing my instinct to run away, I take a step closer and my breath catches. Her arm jerks. With an unnatural lurch, a single arm plants itself on the ground, like a spider's spindly limb. Okay, this is kinda dangerous though. She gonna be enraged right now? I hear a sound, like the cracking of ice as the world freezes over. The music, though. Warm breath and hot blood spill from her throat. Her arm trembles as she forces herself up. Scarlet pours over the ground in a ceaseless torrent. Her body silently peels itself off the slick stone. Her head rises from the pool of blood. I glimpse her eyes through matted blonde hair. Their sockets are the sunken hollows of a corpse, but in their depths rages a crimson fire. Her eyes stare wildly at nothing. Too weak to get up, using one hand, she splashes gracelessly back into the pool of blood. Red stains her white clothing with each motion. Again and again, she tries to stand, fails and falls once more. She almost seems to take pleasure in the pitiful spectacle. I can't move. Arcoade's voice, her person, her will flood unstoppably into my mind. This torrent seizes my frail ego, swamps it, drowns it. The world spins around and round. As I struggle against the vortex, her thoughts surge into my brain. Never have I suffered such pain. Never have I felt such hatred. How delightful to unleash this urge burgeoning within me would bring pleasure beyond imagining. It might break you, no, it'll shatter you. The sweet tragedy would tear a hole in my chest, never to heal, I know. I'll dash you to pieces, shell and yolk, so nothing remains. I'll permit you no escape. I will show you no mercy. Never again will I lose, nor the warm beating of your heart. Oh my god.
待っていて。すぐに殺してあげるから。
That's terrifying, look at that. Arcoade trashes about in a pool of her own blood, laughing like a woman gone mad. I can't move, my brain stutters. Staying here means a certain death. If I want to live, I have to run. Anywhere will do, anywhere, so long as it isn't here. But my legs are frozen stiff. What's worse, I know why. It's the fault of my own realism, my own ingrained rationality. I'm as good as dead no matter where I go. My body instinctively knows that flight, the last refuge of the weak, won't save me. The vampire arises jerkily from the pool of blood. I watch helplessly through the gazed eyes. The image of a tomato sitting on a plate comes to mind. That's what I must be in her eyes. Ripe, appetizing, powerless to defend myself. Easy prey for a starving beast. Okay, here comes CL. A barrage of shooting stars light up the night. Countless black keys, bane to vampires for centuries, impale Arcoade's defenseless body.
第7の神よ、キヨ!
A black whirlwind blasts mercilessly through her torso, the finishing touch on this brutal assault. It happens in an instant. CL swoops in from high above to pin Arcoade down with a volley of black keys, then barrels towards her with her oversized stake driver. Wind-whipped black collides with bloodstained white. The dust clears to reveal CL's stake driver reduced to scrap by vampiric claws, but not before its payload pinned Arcoade to the ground.
何よこれ、何よこれ!
Again, she trashes in a pool of her own blood, but this time I sense panic. She claws at the stake lodged in her chest, but her hands, slick with gore, slide off ineffectually. Or perhaps there's something special about that stake that can keep even Arcoade subdued.
シエル遠野くん、何してるんですか？こっちです。
One voice dripping with the promise of bloody murder. Another desperate to galvanize me into action. Together, they break me free from Terra's grasp.
先輩!
いいですから、早く逃げるんです。彼女が杭を抜く前に早く。
She grabs my arm and pulls me after her.
先輩、どうして
どうしても何も聞きたいのはこっちの方です。急いで帰ってきてみれば、公園があれで、アルカイドがあれなんですから。
A space-time anomaly in the middle of the park, and Arcuate going berserk. So the overwhelming chill I felt wasn't in my head, the world was actually distorting around me. I'm amazed CL managed to keep clear ahead in the face of such intimidating power.
すみません、部屋から出たのは謝ります。頭の痛みにどうしても耐えられなくて、外に出たらアルクエイドがいて、あいつ自分のものになれとか言い出して。
そうですか。アルクエイドはロアとトーノ君を混同しているんですね。やはり彼女との対決は。いえ、それも覚悟の上です。ここでは話になりません。急ぎます。
CL leads me through the streets. From our bearing, it's easy to guess where we're headed. Our school. And what are you gonna do here? Fight again? The sports field is deadly silent. At this late hour, the school feels like an abandoned prayer hall isolated from the urban noise. Neither Arcawade's blood-stained hellscape nor the white cocoon blanketing the city can intrude upon this sacred ground. Not yet, at least.
落ち着きましたか、遠野くん。背中を打っているようですが、怪我は？
ありません。さっきまでは痛んでいましたけど。
My transformation must be progressing. Arcawade crushed my shoulder blade when she pushed me to the ground, but it is already healed.
それより先輩、アルクエイドから離れたいのはわかるけど、どうして学校に？
ここなら他に被害は出ませんから。遠野くんは先に校舎の中に入っていてください。彼女の排除は私がします。
Those words send me into shock. No, I'm lying to myself. I knew that this was coming. I just didn't want to think about it.
先輩はアルクエイドと戦うんですか？
それ以外に選択肢はないでしょう。彼女の方からこちらにやってくるんですから。今代のロア。いえ、他ならぬあなたを殺すために。
I almost object, but bite my tongue. She's right. My mind turns back to what I've seen tonight. The creature Arcawade has become cares only about killing me. Any hope of talking her down died back in the park.
もう時間はありません。今、アルクエイドが杭を外しましたから。校舎に移動しましょう。遮蔽物がある方が人間には有利です。
CL takes my arm and runs toward the school building.
どのみち遠野くんを守るためには、彼女と決着をつけなくてはいけなかった。
We dash together down the moonlit corridor. CL presses her hand to the walls as we run, engraving magical formulae on them. They are, of course, traps she's laying in preparation for her impending battle with Arcawade.
彼女が活動していると、そのしもべであるロアの意志も活性化する。 遠野くんの中のロアを抑えるには、まず彼女を眠らせるか、追い返す必要があった。ですから、ここで彼女を倒すのは一石二鳥です。何があったのかは知りませんが、あの出血量はアルクエイドであっても致命傷でしょう。杭打ち機を壊されましたが、手持ちの武装だけで倒しきってみせます。ここまでですね。遠野くんは3階で隠れていてください。彼女と戦うのは私の役割ですから。
That I can't do. I was the one who drove Arcuate to madness. Besides, CL can't fool me. I can sense her trepidation. She doesn't stand a chance, and she knows it. She's just trying to put me at ease.
俺も戦います。あいつをおかしくしたのも、先輩の言いつけを守れなかったのも、俺がバカだったからです。だから、せめて、自分で蹴りをつけないと。
遠野くん、私怒りますよ。
CL glares daggers at me, though she seems more exhausted than angry.
私の体のことは知っているでしょ？私は何があっても死にません。けど確かにあなたの目ならアルクエイドを倒せるかもしれませんが、その前に彼女の爪があなたを殺します。
I mean, yeah, especially now, right? Like she's way too strong, way too fast.
遠野くん、言ったじゃないですか。私を幸せにしてくれるって。なら、お願いですからこんなところで死なないでください。
でも、先輩一人じゃ、あいつには。
見くびらないでください。私が今まで何体の使徒を仕留めてきたと思っているんですか？こと吸血鬼退治なら、私の右に出る者はいないのです。
CL strikes a confident pose. Funny. If her hands weren't trembling, I'd almost be convinced.
ダメだよ。先輩、俺はそれでも。
I can't leave her to fend for herself, even if it cost me my life. But before I can tell her as much, she presses her finger to my lips.
その先はそれこそ言っちゃダメです。お願いですから、私のわがままを聞いてください。一度ぐらい、本当に一度ぐらい、私だけの意志であなたを守りたいんです。そうしないと、私は遠野くんに心から笑顔を向けられなくなっちゃうじゃないですか。
Tears well in her eyes as she speaks.
私がこんなに早く帰ってきたのはダメだったからなんです。遠野くんを助ける手段は教会にはありません。教会にあるものはロアを利用する方針だけで、転生体を助けようとする方法なんてなかったんです。あなたを失わずにロアだけを殺す手段なんてどこにも。
I see. If that's how it has to be, at least she tried. I should have known it would never be that easy.
でも、それは、シエル先輩が泣くようなことじゃない。
いいえ、私がもっとしっかりしていれば、ロアを追うことばかり考えず、もっと他の道を探していれば、違う可能性だってあったはずなんです。だからもう、私にできることは、ロアの侵食を少しでも遅くすることしかできない。 苦しいって、遠野くんがどれだけ苦しいのか知っているのに、それでも少しでも長くそばにいてほしいって、そんな自分勝手なことばっかり考えてるんです、私は。
I don't want to watch her cry. So I pull her close where I can't see her tears.
遠野くん。
俺だってできるだけ一緒にいたい。先輩は自分勝手じゃないですよ。自分勝手なのは俺の方なんだから。それに先輩がしつこくロアを追いかけていたから今があるんじゃないですか。全部を取るなんてできない。こうして先輩と一緒にいられる今の代わりにロアを消す手段を作られても嬉しくない。
でもそれじゃ。
勘違いしないで。俺ロアなんかに負けるつもりはこれっぽっちもありませんから。
I remember what Arcuade said. It's a gamble, but I still have one last card to play.
ロアの相手は俺がします。自分のことですからね。けど確かに俺じゃアルクエイドを止められないんで、そっちは任せます。
はい、ありがとうございます。
CL's arms squeeze tight around my waist. I bring my lips to hers as we embrace. But then she hops back like a startled rabbit.
キスはダメですよ。そんなことされたら私嬉しすぎて気が抜けちゃいます。ですから今は抱き合うだけにしておきましょう。
So we'll get the reward once we win.
だね。じゃあ少し離れてるけどピンチになったら呼んでください。すぐに駆けつけますから。
CL nods silently. I turn away, trusting my life is safe in her hands.
ごめんなさい。一つだけ忘れ物がありました。
忘れ物ですか？
はい。明日になったら街に遊びに行きましょう。乾くんと3人でこの前のやり直しをするんです。
Her smile warms me from the inside. Thank goodness. Our promise really did mean something to her after all.
それじゃあ約束。
I offer her a handshake.
はい。今度はちゃんと守ってくださいね。
CL's finger brush against mine. She shakes my hand vigorously, and then her soft touch withdraws. The school is very quiet. I seclude myself on the third floor passage, draw my knife, and take a deep breath. CL will keep her word. If she said she'll keep me safe, I trust that she'll stop at nothing to protect me. Unfortunately, I am just as stubborn. I don't want to lose her any more than she wants me to lose me.
そうだよな。何を弱気になってるんだ、俺は。
I've got to start thinking about my next move. Holding up here might work for a while, but I can't stay on the sidelines forever. Against someone as strong as CL, even Arcuade won't be able to watch her back all the time. She'll let her guard down eventually. And that's when I will strike.
俺が先輩を勝たせる。
If I take one false step, Arcuade will tear me to pieces. That's exactly why CL sent me away. But I'm going to try anyway. Whether she likes it or not, I'll watch and wait until the very last moment, then I'll turn the tables. CL and I will beat Arcuade together and force her to accept our relationship.
なんだそりゃ。仲人役の神父か、あいつは。
In spite of my circumstances, I can't help but laugh.
お前との決着はその後だ。いいだろう、ロア。
Once we've fended Arcuade off, I'll have one last desperate gamble to make. My odds of survival are very low. I don't even know if my idea will work, but it's my only shot. I was given these eyes for a reason. The day will come when I have to make use of them, or so somebody once told me long ago.
ああ、そうだね。きっとこれが俺の役割なんだ。
Alright, I'm ready. Now I just have to wait for the battle to start. And it begins just like that. The school shudders violently. It's like a dump truck crashed into the building at full speed.
まさか、もう。
The floor is still shaking. She must have smashed right through the ground floor. Only a few minutes have passed since CL warned that Arcuade had pulled out her stake. There's only one way she got from the park to here in that time. The idiot didn't even think to scout out the battlefield. She just charged straight for us at top speed like a pissed off homing missile. Impact after impact rocks the building. I can't believe this is her. The Arcuade I knew was powerful, sure, and she could do some crazy things, but she wasn't irrational. She understood her relationship with society. She realized that subtlety was essential to peaceful coexistence. She could be ruthless in executing her goals, but she wouldn't resort to ruthlessness to achieve them. None of that is true anymore. The creature she has become will stop at nothing to get what she wants. No different from Vlov. I recall CL and Arcuade's midnight battle in the park. CL could only fight back because Arcuade, in her own way, still conformed to human rules. She cared about maintaining the dignity that separates a true ancestor from a dead apostle. But if she's abandoned her pride, what happens then?
違う。捨てたんじゃない。
I cut it away. The creature 2 floors down is not the woman I knew. She's a blood-starved vampire, just as ravenous as Vlov. I was a fool to assume that she'd behave as she always has.
先輩。
I set off running for the lower floors. How arrogant to think that I could hang back and wait for an opening. The real answer was to fight on her own terms, to abandon my rationality and hit her with everything I've got. How can we even win though? Like Arcuade is just much more faster. The ground floor is a living nightmare. Look at the amount of blood. Blood and then, yeah, the swords. Jesus. I hold on the landing, stunned. The corridor lies in ruins, torn apart by overwhelming strength. Next to the catacombs beneath the department store or Vlov's Arctic cold, this is comparatively mundane. But my legs are frozen stiff. The sight holds captive the very breath in my lungs, my consciousness itself. This once familiar hallway now feels utterly alien. The air hangs as thick as amniotic fluid. It feels like the womb of some primal beast where every atom of every molecule bends to Arcuade's will. Amidst it all, the battle is ended. It is over already? That fast? Only 30 meters separates us, but they seem a world away. Countless black keys, all broken, litter the corridor. Globs of blood and flesh peeled off the walls and ceiling to converge on. Is this Arcuade? Not Arcuade, the CL's shattered body, trying to reform. CL herself is pressed up against a wall, empty-handed and helpless, with Arcuade's claws around her throat, like a butterfly pinned to a spreading board. On the brink of death, seems blindly to anything besides Arcuade. Arcuade's finger brushes her throat. With a wet gurgle, they puncture the skin before slipping lovingly down to her waist. Lurid color sprays as CL's body sags, sliced open like a fish. Arcuade's claws return to CL's chest. Her fingers splay wide and plunge deep, as though punching through virgin snow, and grasp for the heart. I cannot watch this. CL might be immortal, but pulling her heart from her chest while she's still alive? That's sick. Arcuade caresses her prey's head with her talons. Then she swipes down, shaving CL's flesh away from cranium to groin, as though rubbing her with an eraser. I call out, still frozen stiff. Arcuade glances back at me with detached contempt. She might as well be looking at a bug. Under the weight of her gaze, I forget I'm even human.
なんだ、ちゃんといるじゃない。そこで待っていて。すぐに終わらせてあげるから。
With a savage laugh, Arcuade returns to brutalizing CL. She holds her in place by her broken collarbone, using her other hand to rake again and again at her flesh.
呆れた。これでも元に戻るなんて。やっぱりロア本人を殺さないとダメってこと。
Flesh tears. A grim repetition of the torment CL endured at the hands of the church unfolds.
私がロアを取り込んでしまえば、あなたは私が死ぬまで生き続けるしかなくなる。あなたが死ぬには、教会で用意した転生批判の聖剣でロアを殺さないといけない。それが、どうしたって言うんですか。
CL groans in agony, barely holding onto consciousness.
けれど、いいの？ロアが死ぬということは、あなたも死ぬということなのよ。ロアを消滅させてしまえば、あなたのこの体も普通の、つまらない人間の体に戻ってしまうでしょう。それが、私の望みです。そう。かわいそうね。 あなたの望みは叶えられない。私は今度こそロアを取り込む。あそこにいる肉塊をこの手で何百回と引き裂いてね。
Ciel's body jerks wildly. Her crimson heart emerges into open air, trailing the rest of her organs behind it. Even then, she doesn't stay dead for long. Blood sputters from her mouth as her consciousness returns. Something snaps inside my head. Agony springs to my temples and nausea climbs up my throat. I slam my head against the wall. Look at her. That parasite's the last of your concern. What matters now is stopping her from laying another finger on Ciel. Overclock your brain until your veins burst into flames. Look at her, look at her, look at her. Look and find her death. It's enough to drive me mad. I see death defacing the living, then inanimate the air itself. But our Kuwait alone remains pristine. Somebody told me once that the laws of nature declaring her perfect by virtue of her existence. True ancestors exist as extensions of the planet, drawing their vitality from its own reserves. They have no such thing as a lifespan. They will never age, never tire, never die. In other words, her invincibility is a function of the natural world. Look around. It has to be somewhere. If I can see every kind of death, surely I can see this. All this time, I've been barking up the wrong tree. Our Kuwait is insulated from the very possibility of death. But that means, if I can kill whatever is granting her that protection, she'll no longer be invincible. So how can you find that? There. It's a long way and our Kuwait is right here. If I run straight for it, she'll realize what I'm doing. I'll be dead before I even get close. But I have to try. I can't let this gruesome display go on for one more second. Perhaps she felt my determination, or perhaps she faculties include the ability to sense impending death. She gives me a dubious glance, follows my line of sight, and then turns back to me.
Honki?
With an incredulous hiss, she lets Ciel drop. No time to second guess myself. A human might have taken the stairs, but not me. Like I listened to you. Take your warning and shove it. I smash through the schoolyard window before Arcade can even move. My objective lies in the middle of the sports field. It's a long way to run. I don't know if I'll make it. I hear Arcade tear through the concrete wall behind me. She's giving me the time I need. Arcade is inhumanely fast, but I'm not a human either. Just this once, I'm gonna come out on top. I arrive at my destination, a colossal point of death. Arcade barrels straight for me. But before her claws can rip me apart, I drive my knife straight down and kill the very earth beneath my feet. The air twists with an audible crunch. With my knife, I spill the world's lifeblood. Arcoade's link to the planet's life force goes dead as I kill this layer of the natural world, the foundation of everything around us.
考えたわね、シキ。
The white avatar comes for me, eyes trained on me alone. Lines crisscross her body and we can see it now. Night still blesses her, but her authority is fatally besmirched.
よし。
I can do it. I can really do it. I can kill her. But before I can even revel in the possibility, she's way too fast, I guess. Blood explodes from my mouth, staining my vision red. And she's gone. Her monster speed is too fast to process. For a moment, I feel nothing, the shock and pain numbed by disbelief. Only now do I hear the tearing of flesh and bone. My lifeblood drains away in spurts. I look down, and I see Arcoade's arm punched clean through me. My vision begins to blur. The world rapidly falls away. One pale arm skewers my chest, obliterating my old scar. It's a grievous wound. If I were human, it would have killed me instantly. But I'm not done yet. I still have enough life in me for one final push. The thing is for Shiki. Sure, he found a way now to kill Arcoade, but he underestimated her, I guess, at that last moment. He got confident because he could see the lines now, and then Arcoade just, smashed him. Death's dark shadow swallows my feet and begins to climb. Death's dark shadow can go to hell. Swallowing back a mouthful of my own blood, I drive my knife into the line scrawled across Arcoade's chest. I suppose that must have been her voice. I can't really tell anymore. My head is liquefying. Maybe the pain is overwhelming my consciousness. Maybe my brain is finally burning out. Either way, the Reaper's hand is on my shoulder. The world begins to dim. But before it goes, I ensure my knife completes its arc. I suppose I wanted to settle things with Arcoade myself. I know what she likes. Though we spent only a few days together, I'm all too familiar with her lack of common sense, what strange things she says for a vampire, and how much tougher she is than she looks. But even knowing all that,
だっじゃねえ。死にづらいにも程があるだろ。疲れたんなら消えろ、吸血鬼。
ふざけないで。この程度で私は死なないんだから。
Arcoade's hand closes over my face. Before she can crush my skull, I slash her breastbone open.
いいから消えろ。ロアは俺が連れて行く。お前に手間なんかかけさせないで、必ずあの世に連れて行ってやる。だから消えろ。俺はお前とバカな殺し合いなんざやりたくない。
今さら何よ。私を拒んだのはあなたの方じゃない。
Arcuade squeezes tighter. Crack. I hear my skull start to fracture.
ロアはここで殺すの。絶対に殺すの。そうでもしなければ帰らないって言ったでしょ。
この
I've had enough of her temper tantrums. She should know better than anyone that killing Roa won't solve anything. My knife dances through the air. It glides soundlessly into Arcuade's arm. Her hand remains attached, but it relaxes its grip. Thank God, she must be running on fumes as well. She retreats unsteadily, reeling from the blood loss. Her arm slides back out of my chest. The intimacy of her presence recedes. As soon as she steps away, I crumple to the ground.
しき。
So is this a bad ending or what? Her voice sounds strangely hesitant. My throat doesn't seem to be working right now. Something's clogging it. I try to speak, but only manage to cough up blood.
しき。
The tautness in the air is relaxing. Arcuade's murderous aura gradually dissipates. I must have knocked some sense into her, because she's finally turning back to the person I knew.
よかった。
I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I suppose this is how it ends.
しっかりしてシキ。そんな傷ぐらいシキが私のものになってくれるならすぐに平気になるんだから。
Arcuade reaches towards me. But even as my mind fades, I raise my hand to stop her.
なんでシキ、このままだと死んじゃうんだよ。いい、さっきのことは許してあげる。シエルのことも気にしない。そんなことより私シキに亡くなってほしくない。だからお願いだから私のものに。
Even breathing is a struggle now, but I somehow find the strength to shake my head.
わからない。シキが死んじゃったらロアはまた転生してしまう。シキだってロアを恨んでいるんでしょ。そのままだとあなたが死んでしまった後、ロアがその体を乗っ取るだけ。そんな結末でいいの？
She has a point. That's one loose end I have to tie up. But if I do what she says, it'll just repeat the cycle. Even if I did as she asked, even if I followed Roa's path, become a vampire and develop the strength to resist him, Roa would still never disappear until Arcuade gave him the affection he craves.
ダメだ。お前の言うことは聞けない。
どうしてそんなに私のことが嫌いなの？
Like hell I do. I never say that even as a joke.
お前の気持ちもわかるけど、もう許してやってくれ。ロアはさ、お前に振り向いて欲しかっただけなんだ。そのために何回も生き返って、 お前がやってくるのを心待ちにしていた。でもあいつは人間なんだ。お前のように長く長く生きられる命じゃない。
Ultimately, immortality is forever beyond human reach. Roa hoped to preserve his identity through reincarnation, but even that had its limits. Ultimately, he only created a clone that shared his goals. He failed to preserve his original memories, self, or emotions, not in any way that retained their worth. Both his heart and the beauty that captivated it over the centuries, no one, least of all Roa, could withstand such the ravage of time.
ロアはいないのと同じなんだ。あいつは始まりの命令に沿って同じことを繰り返すだけのプログラムと変わらない。だからこの辺りで終わりにしてやらないと。
シキ、あなた、もう。
The madness recedes from Arcoade's eyes. Savage gold dims to tender crimson. Her golden hair sways under the moonlight. Once more, she's that otherworldly woman who stole my heart. Okay, I don't know what is happening, honestly. I look up at her like she's the moon in the night sky. I'm sorry, CL, but Arcoade really is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But yeah, isn't this CL's path or CL's route? And then we're ending up with Arcoade again. From her crimson eyes to her regal yet gentle bearing, to the slender contours of her pale body, even to the bloody blossom I slashed across her breast. I'm sorry that it has to end this way. My chest twinges at the thought of what have might been. Good going, Arcoade. If only you'd come to your senses a little sooner. We wouldn't have needed to act out like this or this little farce.
そうなの、シキ。あなた、もうロアと一つなの？
I couldn't say. All I know that I've finally pushed myself too far. My memories are unraveling as I lie here. My worldview and Roa's meld into one. Someone told me that trying to look at what I can't see would end up breaking me. I wonder who that was. I can't remember anymore.
何よ、バカ。それじゃあシエルに殺されてやるっていうの？あなたは。
まさか。けど、お前のおかげでこのざまだ。もう、長くは持たないだろう。
Arcoade looks down at herself. At the vertical slash, my knife tore down her chest.
信じられない。今まで私をこんなに傷つけた相手はいなかったわ。
It's true. I'll be the first and last to touch Arcoade's heart. I can be proud of that at least.
本当に残念。けど、私もそろそろ限界みたい。この傷を治すには故郷に戻って、また長い眠りにつかないと。
だろ。なら、さっさと帰っちまえ。
She doesn't reply. The pause between us isn't as silent as such. Just a shared moment. A lull while we both feel the weight of her parting.
嫌な男。最後まで憎まれ口を叩くんだから。ちょっとぐらい優しいこと言ってくれるかなって期待したのに。
なんだそりゃ。優しくして欲しかったらもっとか弱いとこ見せろ、バカ。
If she wants me to bare my heart, there it is. A memory flashes before my eyes. A fond recollection of walking the streets together. Though it always seemed we'd rather bicker than connect.
うん。でも、四季のそういうところが好きだったな。
Those are the last words she ever says to me. With a smile on her face, she dissolves into mist. Okay, so she's gone.
なんだ、同じだったのか。
I lift my gaze to the moon above. For a moment, just a moment, we were back the way we used to be. I really did love her. In the end. Roa's influence had nothing to do with it. I just want to see more of her smile. That we spend our final moments together fighting is one last cruel irony. I wonder why things ended up this way. I've made my share of mistakes, but as far as Arcuade was concerned, I always thought I'd steered the right course. The bleeding, it won't stop. Every breath I take forces a spurt of blood from my throat. My consciousness, it flickers. Arcuade could have managed a little more restraint, I would say. My half-vampiric body has its perks, but it can't heal a hole in my chest. A jolt shudders through me. It's not my heart that stopped beating a long time ago. It's my head. I must have fried my brain trying to keep up with Arcuade. Roa's will is waxing, while all the remains of Shikitono is steadily waning. Soon, my body will shut down. If I die in the interim, control of it will pass to Roa. A true vampire like him will recover this wound in the way I never could. And then I'll end up going through the same horrors of that CL did.
ごめん。
I know I'm only making myself feel better, but I still feel like I have to say it. My body shudders yet again. I'm holding onto my consciousness by my fingertips now. Before I let go, I turn my eyes on myself. There, where my old scar marks my chest, I find it. The point that marks my death and Roa's. You said you wanted to make me happy. Do you remember that? If you really meant it, don't throw your life away. All I can do now is apologize. She deserves so much, and I've been able to give her none of it. But this, at least, I can do. Here, at the last, I can free her from her burden. Exhaling slowly, I bring my knife to my chest. The tip rests against my point of death. All that's left is to push down. It'll be so easy. Don't. A voice whispers in my ear. I must be hearing things. Someone cries my name. Okay, so CL is fine now. I turn to see her running my way, her wounds healed. Don't. My resolve will falter if I look into her eye. Guilt will rob me of the strength to hold a knife. I have to finish this before she comes. Can you do it? I push down. The knife slides in without so much as a whisper. It's so easy. It'll be so easy. As I once did so many years ago, I fall into a deep, deep darkness. A distant voice reaches my ears. There it is. I knew it. I knew if I stuck around long enough to hear her cry, I'd end up regretting my choice. Okay, so I guess that was some intense action. A lot of emotion as well, right? From Mark Wade, like saying that she wants Shiki, and then later on them fighting, right? CL, Arcuade, and then Arcuade, he's gone, right? So that was the end of, I guess, day 14. We still have day 15. What is gonna happen? We are gonna find out. So we are gonna concede this and do more of Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon, in the next one. So I'll see you then. Bye bye.